We are one of the largest boats in the Mississippi Sound. This is called a Class K boat, which simply means we can carry over 149 passengers. This morning we had 25, and I think we had 30 at noon. We normally would be running 200 plus, but I'm sure the word is out that there is oil on West Ship Island.
We're a family of 5 from Arkansas, Searcy, Arkansas. We actually booked our trip about 3 or 4 weeks before the spill broke. And yet we're glad we didn't cancel this trip because it's given us an opportunity to share together.
I am a bartender in Gulfport on the beach. We offer oysters on the half shell where I work, and that is the name of the restaurant. Guess what? We can't offer you anything on the half shell from here anymore. Whatever you're used to getting from this area, we can no longer offer it for you because it's all been covered or killed by biohazardous material.
They have the area clean right around where the lifeguard station is, but then around toward the ends of the island, I think it gets a little bit worse. Clearly, the devastation is real.
My wife, my daughter, and her 2 children, my grandkids, they wanted to go to Ship Island yesterday, so we brought them out. They went across to the South Beach, and where they were walking in the sand, they actually had oil that came up and got on their feet. And when they got home that night and showered, it was very, very difficult to remove that. It was like a stain that had, impregnated your skin.
The communities in the Gulf area have been hit first several years ago by an unexpected and completely natural disaster, Katrina, but now an unnatural disaster, something that's preventable, something that is based entirely on our choices to extract things from the ground. BP is pumping oil out of the ground, but only because I sent them an order for gasoline, and so they've got to get it so I can drive my car. We're Christians. That is our confession, it is our practice, it is our life. So for us, the questions of who Jesus is and how we follow him have an immediate impact on the ground of how we live in the world. We have, particularly over the last several years, become immensely concerned that our own lives were unsustainable, and that we needed to be making more sustainable, intentional, ethical choices. That question has to be answered on the basis of faith. It has to be answered on the basis of how do these choices and the mistakes that we make in these choices, or the ways that we go about these things, how do these affect the human communities?
I'm 34 years old. I have a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old to think about. Katrina was not predicted. My kids lost everything at their house with me, in addition to losing everything at their house with their dad and their stepmom. There are going to be natural disasters. You've got the tsunamis, you've got earthquakes, you've got uncontrollable fires, but really this is an oil spill. It's not a natural disaster. It's not. It's a man-made disaster.
Everything has a plan, is controlled by God, and there is a reason that this is happening. It's over maybe my head. I don't understand why, and certainly I'm not going to question, why. But I believe that God is very much in control.
When you live in a family, even hardships can be blessings. And so for me, as the people of God, as the people who wrestle with God, as Jacob does, as the people who wrestle with the idea of God in a fallen, broken, screwed up, messed up, pick your word, world, that we have to be the kind of people who search for the grace and the good and the opportunities to bring healing to this broken place, even as we don't know what all of this means. We trust that somehow our place in it can matter in the world.
I look at life like a needlepoint or a cross stitch. If you look at the front of it, it's beautiful. It's going to come out great. It's going to create this wonderful picture. But if you were to ever take it out of the frame, flip it over and look at the back, it looks like chaos. It's just a bunch of different colors going in random directions, and it's not a pretty picture. But I think God always sees it from the other side of that. And I think he knows, and it says we will be tested. And it says, I will not give you more than you can endure. And it says, I am right here beside you, whether you realize it or not.
Our plan right now, as far as Ship Island Excursion is concerned, is we're open for business.